I'm shooting with two DJI Action 5 Pro, one in neutral and one in dlogM. Can you guess which is which?
Yep.
Hello everyone, I hope you are all good. I'm Photorabs, a portrait photographer based in France, and I like creating content about action cams, vlogging kits, and so on. If you are interested in these kind of topics, I highly appreciate if you go subscribe to my channel. That's a massive help. I was not planning to make this video, and this is not gonna be the only video that I will make about this topic. This is a very hot topic about the dlogM with the DJI Action 5 Pro. And since I have two Action 5 Pro, so I can make this comparison, while you cannot if you already have one camera. I'm sure you will not buy another one just for some tests. So here is a test comparing the dlogM versus the neutral color profile. I might change maybe to the vivid later on, we will see. The hype about log profiles has been increased a lot recently. All the cameras have the log profile, have their own log profile, and they all say that we need to shoot in log to have the best out of the camera, the best dynamic range, and so on. But unfortunately, lots of people do not understand what is log, and this is the main problem, because the normal color profile is a linear color profile applied through all of the image on the camera, while the log is a logarithmic profile that can be applied, and you can apply it later on when you are post-processing your footage. That means that you will lose time post-processing and so on. Once again, I mentioned that before. Personally, I don't like shooting log on these cameras for many reasons. Reason number one is that when shooting log, it requires to shoot in manual, because why I would need to shoot in log for just posting on YouTube and so on? For me, there is not of a big deal. You might have another idea, you might have another thought, another opinion about that. I totally respect it. But for me personally, I don't find it helpful. I don't find it useful for my kind of use. The second thing is that the normal color profile of the cameras of this DJI is quite interesting as it is, without tweaking, without anything else. So why to bother and lose time to color grade later on? And the third thing, if I keep it in auto and I will apply one lot to all of the footage, that means that this is not something like helpful for the log as it is, because I'm just taking the log and converting it to Rec 709 and to the standard color profile. And for me, this is not how the color grading should be done. We have the lot that we can find on DJI website that we can take, we can drag over the footage, and voila, that's it. But this is not the color grading as it should be. The color grading is to bring your mood, to bring your theme, your color palette to the footage, to change it in a way that matches your idea, your style, and so on. And recently I've been seeing, whether on my videos or on the other social platforms, some comments about the exposure jumps when it comes to the dlogM of this DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro. And my answer to those people is that you cannot use log in automatic exposure. This is totally wrong in my opinion, once again. And I got some comments about that, why you are ignoring this topic and so on. It's not like I'm ignoring it. And here I am, I'm making this video, and there will be another in-depth video maybe by the end of January. But the idea about that is when you shoot in automatic exposure, the camera will find the best exposure on the frame and take it as a reference and will expose the shot accordingly. And that's why there are some scenes that looks dark and some others that look brighter, you know. And when you apply one single LUT to an automatic exposure footage, this is really bad, because one single LUT will contain information about colors, about saturation, about white balance, about contrast, about hue, and so on, you know. So you cannot apply one thing to a whole footage that has lots of different exposures. I'm trying to walk, whether in the street out there or here in the park, we have different exposures. The camera, the one in normal profile, is exposing according to what the camera is reading, but the other one is exposing as well according to what the camera is reading. And if I apply the LUT, let me know what you think about that. I will only apply the LUT that comes on the DJI website, by the way, so you can see yourself whether this is usable or not, or whether you have some other concerns, so we can cover in another video. Now I switched to vivid color profile on the normal color profile for the Action 5 Pro, and on the other camera I'm still in the same dlogM, which is the only log profile of the camera. But when I will go post-process the footage, I will apply the vivid LUT that you can find on DJI website, and I will convert this log profile to the vivid one with a click of a button on DaVinci Resolve. And this is one huge advantage of the log profile, is that you can have one single profile on your camera, and then you can apply whether the neutral, the vivid, or you can create your own LUT like I will do now. So the colors will be way off, just to show you what I mean by creating your own LUT, because what DJI provides is only what the camera is calculating built in the body, built in the Action 5 Pro on the standard color profile. So the LUTs that you can find on the DJI website are the LUTs that are already baked in the camera to provide that standard color profile, whether the neutral or the vivid. On another note, there is some other kind of use for the log profile. If you are shooting with many cameras, it's better to shoot in log, and you can color match the images and the frames and the colors and the tones between the different cameras. And this is something very interesting, and this is what they do on movies, on films, on series, and so on, because they are not shooting with the same camera body, everything. They have multiple cameras, even from the same brand, that they need to be color graded, to be matched together, and so on. But if you are shooting with one single camera, why do you need to go through all of this process? Just a question. Let me know your thoughts down below, because today I got some comments from someone. What is that? I got some comments from someone saying that he would like to shoot in D-Log to get a professional look to his images, but he would like to shoot in automatic, and then he said why the camera exists if we should use it in manual for the D-Log. Once again, I'm not doing Netflix series, I'm just doing some vlogs, some YouTube videos, and I don't personally care about the color matching, even let's go that way. Even when I was doing some event videography and so on, and we had multiple cameras, it's very easy to tweak the images slightly to be somehow matched together if we don't have the same cameras. And if we do not have the same cameras, it is not a big of a deal, you know, and things can be done easily without issues. Of course, using log profiles will allow you to have a better representation of the colors, a better matching of the colors, and that will lead to a higher quality, to a better dynamic range, and so on. But once again, if you are using all of this process to film in dlog or in any log profile to post-process and lose lots of time to adjust frame by frame your lot because you want to shoot in automatic, then it's really time consuming for nothing interesting, you know. I prefer to lose my time in creating content and showing you the new features and showing you what we have on this camera or on that camera, rather than shooting everything in log, in manual, in automatic, and then adjusting everything frame by frame. Of course, we can shoot in manual, but it's very hard to use a camera like this in manual, and I agree, because whenever we are walking, the light is changing constantly, and we cannot adjust that manually, you know. It's very difficult and it's very time consuming. That's why I keep my camera in automatic, and I don't really care if we have the highlights are a little bit clipped or the shadows are like burnt out. I really don't care about that. These are minor details in my opinion, especially because these are small cameras. I'm not using the Sony now, I'm using the DJI Action 5 Pro, the two of them. I'm not using the Fuji camera, I'm not using the Nikon camera. Those have a better dynamic range, a wider dynamic range, and I prefer using them in manual because it's easy. I have an ND filter, a variable ND filter that I can turn to stop it down or to stop it or to bring more light to the sensor or not, you know. I have also the ring for the aperture to close the aperture or not, so I can fix the shutter speed and the ISO, and I can play with the others with the tip of my finger on the lens, and that's it. While with these cameras it's very hard and for nothing worth it in my opinion. So that was it for today. Let me know your thoughts about it, and if you join me with my ideas, please let me know as well, because that's really important to me and that's really helpful. If you have some other concerns, write them, so I try to cover them in an upcoming video dedicated for the log profile, whether on this camera or any other camera that I have. Thank you for watching, guys, and see you on another video. Ciao for now.